They'll start on the ground with Swift.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
These two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
They'll run the draw here with Swift.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
This defense for the Vikings, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. He'll look to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hawkinson. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A lot of times when you get a matchup in 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift.
And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
The Lions are 2 and 10 now on the year, and they come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers of 5 straight.
And far be it from me to go ahead and go gloom and doom, right? If they fall down 7-0, 14-0, all of a sudden the cycle starts all over again. So the best way out of this for them, they need something to happen positive early in this game. That's a great way to help break this losing skid.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down.
And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
On 4th down, Jack Fox on to punt for Detroit.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And this one will be touchdown right at the 30-yard line.
Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
And they'll run the option to start the drive.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. That may be a sneak peek on this opening drive of what this young rookie can showcase, his legs.
And normally, as you start a game, you're just thinking, can he get the snap? Can he hand off? Can he just execute? Instead, he doesn't waste any time on wrapping another dimension to his game, showing off those wheels and picking up some nice yardage.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Corral's throw complete to his receiver, Thielen.
It'll go as a gain of 4. And they're going to have a 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And this one drops incomplete, but I think the defense jumped. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now they'll try to take advantage of that offsides call. Here's 1st and 5. The tackle credited to Deshaun Elliott, the safety.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing a shotgun, and they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Here's Cook again. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Cook now off the read option.
And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Switching it up, Corral will throw here.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this 1st quarter. Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8.
On 3rd down, Corral.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22.
Levi Onwuzurike charging in and finishing off the sack.
The kick by Joseph is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll drop to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
That's going to be caught by Josh Reynolds. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st.
Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down.
Fielded at the 20. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact,
into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes.
And the Lions are going to take possession of the football.
A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know it's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, It may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Once again, it's Swift. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33.
11 yards there and a Lion first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
At the 30-yard line.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
He'll look to throw. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 17-yard line. The 3rd down conversion successful. A gain of 11.
A handoff, Swift running to the left.
And despite the fancy footwork we saw, they'll get to him just inside the 15. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. They'll look to throw here. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions have taken the lead. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota. And the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10.
On 1st down, it's Corral. Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Meanwhile, Corral's throw into the hands here of Hardman.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
Shotgun snap to Corral. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. So, of course, they declined that there. They knew they had the free play. They got great yardage out of it.
It's kind of like when we were at dinner last night. You saw me reach for the check, so you ordered dessert on top of it, right? You say you had the free play.
Yeah.
Right? Already had what you needed. Go ahead and get a little more on top. I like it.
Here we go.
Cook following the penalty. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
2nd down, they go right back to Cook. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. Call it no gain on the keeper. It's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Greg Joseph now to try the field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Joseph's got it, and that will do it for this first half. So we're at halftime with our score 7-6 in a tough-fought first half. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. They've been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there, just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
On second down, this is Madison. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a third down and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
The last two plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on third and 12. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. Third and long. Third and long. Corral. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 42. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a third and 18. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now a give running right, it's Cook. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. Second and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
He's going to get this one down to Cook. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And not only will he not get the few inches he needs, he's going to go backwards. They went backwards 5 yards there on third down to bring up fourth. The kick by Joseph is good, and they jump back in front here. It's 9-7, and they don't get a touchdown here in the opening drive of the third quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they're trailing the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Bullard's throw taken in by Hopkinson here. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Last play they got stuck at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
2 yards the loss, second and 12.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
Here we go on second and 12. And that's out to the flat for Swift. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that's going to lead to a third and 11.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
Now a
shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And this punt sails over the sideline, and the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10.
On 1st down, Corral.
Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mindset there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football.
But I have to think that when this play began, the running back thought to himself that this looks promising, but that feeling certainly didn't last very long. Super play defensively to lock in on the best route to his target, and he stopped him from
back now at Ford Field. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again.
And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. He was close to flowing with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like you know his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do you know, what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds, and then the last second, oh no, I better get down. And he ended up doing the right thing. But at that point, maybe close to let this slip away.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Picked up by Deshaun Elliott.
And the Lions are going to take possession of the football.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
They go play action here on 1st down.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Vikings are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball, and that one was picked off.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Again, it's Cook. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. 2 yards is the pickup, and it'll be a Minnesota 1st down.
I like his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need one. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And down right around the 32-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down.
Corral.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone, and the Lions are going to take possession of the football.
Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ballgame.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
Maybe one Peyton Manning threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 4th down. And it's off the left upright. Oh, my goodness. Heartache. It's no good.
It's been a nightmare season. You're well under 500. Your defense hasn't really kept in a lot of games. And now it's spilling over to the kicking game. That's 3 points you've got to be able to bank on.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. And we'll get this forward only for about a yard, as that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
And they stop him up short of the 1st down as they get him at about the 43. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
And here's Ryan Wright now
as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away.
Well, a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards.
And the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And I hate to point to that missed field goal from their last drive, but you look at the scoreboard, they would be in the lead if they had that 3.
Well, no doubt those points or those missed points do loom large, but here they're getting a chance for a makeup, aren't they? Almost like my time in school. I was always begging my teachers for a makeup exam. Here's their opportunity now to put those points on the board.
And every point becoming more.
On a huge mistake late, it's intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Count them now, 6 interceptions between last week and this week. Now, the 3 picks last week helped them to a win. They're in the driver's seat once more.
And they're the ones that are doing all the leading, aren't they? Right? The 3 interceptions last week, that led to a victory. 3 interceptions so far in this game, that has them out in front. We often think of the offense driving things. In this case, it's the defense, not just holding teams, but creating big plays for themselves.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They run it again with Cook. And some space here.
80 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Well, obviously, Charles, this was by no means an offensive track meet. I mean, the defenses were the story in this ball game. But, hey, they got enough points to get the job done, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
You're absolutely right about that, partner. In such a low-scoring game, it completely changes everything you had planned to do out there. Fortunately for them, they got just enough scoring to bring home the win. And in this type of a game, the play of their defense, that became one of their